What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the soccer preview for this week, the English Premier League, and all the lower leagues. I'm going to go through each of the four top leagues. Going to break all the games down for you. Not every game, but I'm going to break down my favorite picks. Here as we head forward in the season. My first show kind of on my own, but many of you have followed me. You know I know what I'm talking about, and I have the shows, or I had the shows on SBR with Flash and Natalie and Russ and all the guys over the years. So figured there's a need for it. People want it. And I figured I'd deliver it here on my own channel. I'm going to do it every week here at 2 o'clock on Fridays. It's a good day to do it. It's pretty fresh, and the games are the next day. So we will throw out, I don't know, I have about 12 or so picks, 10 or 12 picks here. Again, you can tailor your own your own can't whatever you want to do. You want to tail, you want to fade, you know, do whatever you want. I don't really care. But obviously, I've done these before, had some success with them. So whether you're watching the show live or you're catching on a replay, hopefully it gives you some insight into the big leagues and into the lower leagues as well. We'll go over the Championship, League One and League Two, and I'll start with Premier League here going forward. Let's start it out here. And happy Friday to everyone checking out the show. And wherever you are today, hope you're having a great day. We'll start out in Premier League. First one, I'm going to go with Man United, -1 against Fulham at about plus 105. We're getting a little plus money back here. Really like this spot for Man United. Obviously, since the firing of Jose Mourinho, they have played very well. They've been scoring goals. They've been doing a lot of good things. They're beating the teams that they should beat. You know, the only real blemish was the draw with Burnley, a game in which they just didn't play well in. They fought back and got a draw. That's what good teams do. Sometimes you have an off day. The great thing about the off day was they still found a way to get a result. They grabbed a point out of it, and you know they're playing at a high level right now. Whether it's Paul Pogba, Victor, Lindelof scored in that game, the one of their defenders. You look at the game against Leicester, Rashford scores very early. They play great defense. I know this is a road game, but Fulham are complete dog shit. They are horrible. Look, the only good thing is here they are at home, but that's really it. Fulham with just 25 goals this year in 25 games. They've conceded the most goals in this league. I think it's a great spot to keep riding Man United here. I'm going to lay the one here. I'll go -1 at plus 105. In the case it's a 2-1 game, we get our money back, but I'm confident we see a 2-0, maybe 3-1 here. But I think the win to nil can pose some value as well. We obviously see that Fulham, not only do they have issues keeping goals out, but this team is really struggling to put goals by. So, you look at them up top. I mean, there's just not a lot of options, really. I mean, you got guys like Mitrovic, but he's been in and out. Ryan Sessegnon hasn't really played great. I like United here -1 as one of my first picks. Next one, I'm going to take a shot with Cardiff against Southampton. I'm going to take plus 400 here with Cardiff and jump on Cardiff. I think this is just too high. I don't think Southampton should be laying these kind of odds. They're a team that right now just doesn't have a lot of Premier League quality. Obviously, a guy like Flash who played at Southampton, he knows this team very well. There's not a lot of talent in this group right now. Danny Ings is your guy up front. I mean, come on, Charlie Alston. I mean, you get rid of Gabiadini, which he was probably your best player. There's just not much here. I mean, Stuart Armstrong is a Scottish level player. He was at Celtic. He was solid there. But like this is a guy, and these guys, they're just not really very good. I just think with Cardiff, you're always going to get a good effort out of this group. They're always going to play hard, and this is a big game for Cardiff. I mean, if they want to find a way to stay up this year, they're going to have to win this game. And you look at the fact that, Burnley have a tough game. They got to go on the road to Brighton, Hove Albion. Fulham have Man United. That's a likely loss. And Huddersfield have Arsenal. This is a great spot for Cardiff to seize the moment here. Again, if you don't want to take and punt on plus 400, I'd highly recommend, a draw double chance here at 2.1, so 110, plus 110. a draw double chance basically means that you can win whether it's a draw or Cardiff win. So you're protecting yourself. I'm going with the bigger price. I think Cardiff can go and get the job done here. I think at any rate, Neil Warnock always gets a nice effort out of these teams. I'm going to go with Cardiff here. I'm going to take the big price. I'm going to hope for a 1-0 here. I think we're going to see a goal from – who are we going to see a goal from? I'll go – I don't know. It's so tough with Cardiff because they just don't have much in the way of anything going forward. I'll go with fuck, man. So tough. I mean, where do you go with Cardiff? I'll go Bobby Reed. Obviously, I mean, he scored 2 goals in the last game. Big win against Bournemouth. They're actually playing okay right now, Cardiff. So I'm gonna rock with Cardiff here at plus 400. Also, I'm gonna go with Tottenham Leicester under 2.5 at even money. Leicester have gone under in 15 of 18. Tottenham without Harry Kane, Dele Alli. Their main guy up front is obviously Heung-min Son. You like what he gives you, but there's just not a lot of attacking prowess right now. We always know Tottenham have a great defensive prowess, but Leicester have been good to me. Whether it was on the SBR show with those guys, I had some pretty good success with taking Tottenham or Leicester under. So I'm going to rock under 2.5 at even money here. The other one, I'm going to go Arsenal minus 1.5 against Huddersfield. Many people know I've talked about Huddersfield. I think they're absolutely shit. I think they could be one of the worst teams we've ever seen at the Premier League level, and if not just the Premier League level, in all 5 leagues. Huddersfield are shocking. They have 13 goals in 25 games. I mean, it's horrendous. It's horrific. I mean, they have no talent on this team. It's just that simple. Arsenal, yeah, look, are they good at the back? No, I'm not going to say they are, but I do think Arsenal is a team that can put a few by here. Up front, you have Aubameyang, Lacazette, plenty of options for them. The midfield is pretty solid as well. You also look at the fact of defensive. I know Arsenal aren't good, and I know they have a lot of injuries right now. I know Hector Bellerin is out, and Mustafi's not playing well. Lichtsteiner's old. Koscielny is had issues, but there's just not much going forward right now for Huddersfield. I'll lay the 1.5. I think this is a 3-0, maybe a 3-1. I really like all 4 of these plays. I think all 4 get it done. We'll shoot for 3-1 here, but I am confident that I'm confident that we get at least a few here. You also look at the fact that Arsenal's a plus 160 on the 1.5. So I'm getting some plus money back. You look at these games. I mean, if I could just hit Cardiff and United, I mean, I'm going to make money. That's the great thing about football. You don't always need to hit all 3 or all 4 games. You can hit 2 and go break even, and you can win money. I'm actually laying plus odds in all these. I mean, with the exception of Tottenham Leicester, I got 2, so I'm at even money. But I've laid no money in any of these games, so that's where I like to be. When you're betting, wherever you can find options to limit juice, I'm going to try to do that. All these prices are plus money prices, and that's kind of the goal here. So, feel free to tail or fade. It's really up to you. Let's switch gears and let's get into some championship here. And have some fun. We have Flash Watson in the chat. I'm going to hope that's the real Flash. We have Martin Green. I'm going to guess that's not the real Martin Green. Martin, tell me something that would identify that that's you. Just want to make sure it's you. I don't want to get got. So we'll make sure of that. Oris Jacobs, what's happening? Everybody on here, thanks for joining us. I know as far as soccer fans, a lot of people will watch this after the fact, but I got to do it at some point. Let's move on to the championship. I don't love the championship this week. I don't ever love it. It's a league where you definitely have to tread lightly, if you will. There's a lot of parity. There's a lot of draws in this league. You definitely got to tread lightly. And if you watched our show with Flash, him and I generally do tread lightly. But I have a few plays in the league that I'm going to rock with. I'm going to go first with the team that I'm looking to just fade right now. They're a lot like Huddersfield, frankly. They just don't score goals. And that's Bolton Wanderers. I'm going to grab Preston North End here at 1.85 against Bolton. Bolton are really poor. I mean, they're really having issues, just major issues. You look at the fact that they're second worst in this league. They only have 19 goals in 30 matches. They've just been very hard to watch up front. There's just not a lot of attacking prowess on this team. There's no real goal scoring threats. You know, Josh McGinnis, none of these guys have really been able to perform for this team, and they don't score goals. Preston North End, I've kind of switched their stripes this year. Over the last few years, they were kind of a defend type team. They kind of remind you of I don't know, kind of like the Brighton of the championship. They're very defensive minded, but this year it's really all been about them going forward. They've done a nice job, and at some points they've had trouble scoring goals. But you look at the last 3 games. I mean, frankly, you look at the last 4 games. I mean, they've won 2 of them, drew the other 2, and it was to Derby County and Swansea, and they had 10 men in that game against Swansea. Beat QPR 4-1, beat Stoke City 2-0, and those are both games on the road. This team is finding ways on the road to win games, and against a bad Bolton side right now, I like their chances. I like Preston North End 1.85 against Bolton, so about minus 120, give or take, wherever you shop. I like this one, Preston. I'm fading Bolton. Bolton are really bad. They look to be going down into to League One. The other one, I'm going to go with Middlesbrough and Leeds. Both teams to score at minus 110. Leeds, obviously, very, very, very likely they'll score. I've scored a lot of goals this year. Have a lot of good players up front. Whether it's Kamar Roof or Bamford or anybody. Really, all season they've had different guys kind of step up. Kamar Roof, obviously the big one. He is a terrific forward up front. Have to figure down the road he's going to be sent off somewhere else. Patrick Bamford's done a nice job for them as well. They kind of had some issues in the middle of the season with injuries, but all these guys are back. They found ways now to win games. And you look at the last few games, guys. I mean, Leeds are putting goals in for fun, scoring a lot of twos, a lot of threers, a lot of goals here for Leeds United. Middlesbrough, honestly, right now struggling a little bit. Tony Pulis' team, they're struggling to defend, which is kind of odd. Usually they don't have any trouble with that. But you look at the last few games. I mean, gave up 2 at Newport County in the FA Cup. Gave up 2 to Middlesbrough. I'm confident that they can give a goal up here, especially with how good Leeds are. I think at the back, both teams are struggling a bit right now. I'll take a shot with both teams to score here. Middlesbrough and Leeds. I like where we're going with these 2 groups right now. Just having a little trouble finding their defensive stature right now. They are scoring. A lot of scoring right now for Leeds United. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate it. Thanks to all the people for listening here. I do appreciate it. My thoughts on teams in game when their opposing team gets a red card. Yeah, I mean, of course. Of course that's a good idea. If it's a 0-0 and you get a team that goes to 10 men, of course I'm looking to get on those live. But you have to be very keen in watching these games. And you have to know what's exactly going on because the prices are going to move quick. Big man, thanks for doing the show. No problem. Thanks for joining me. Third play. This is a game that goes on Sunday. I'm going to go with Norwich City. I'm going to lay 1.5 here with Norwich City against Ipswich Town. Ipswich Town are the worst team in this league. Them and Bolton are the 2 worst groups. I mean, Ipswich just cannot keep goals out. I mean, they are just horrendous on defense. This is basically the best team in the league against the worst team in the league. Norwich with 57 goals on the season. They should have no trouble here against Ipswich Town. Ipswich just don't belong up at this league. I think this is a 3-0er, 3-1er. Very simple here. Job done. Take Norwich City. 2.1, so plus 110 against Ipswich Town. 3 plays. Preston North End, 1.85 against Bolton. Norwich, minus 1.5, plus 110 against Ipswich. And Middlesbrough Leeds, both teams to score at 1.9. Let's keep it going here. We'll go to League One. If you have any questions on any games, feel free to let us know here. I'd appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button and support the show. and obviously come here every day. Next week, we are going to start with a guest, which I'm excited about. We'll get to know him, and we'll go forward with the guest going forward. League One. League One's interesting this week. A couple games that I have my eye on. I got three, actually. I'm going to go with both teams to score with Sunderland and Oxford United at even money, minus 110, whatever you're getting on a price. Really like the way obviously Sunderland plays. They're keen to score anytime. And again, they are on the road. I think a lot of people will get jaded into this price here with Sunderland, but it is a road game. And I'll tell you right now, Oxford United are playing some terrific football. They are doing a real nice job. They're on a nice run of scoring right now. And I like the recent efforts by this Oxford United team playing at a high level. They're down obviously towards the bottom, and again, I get that, but in a lot of these leagues, you got to look at the way they're playing and the current form. Like a team like Plymouth Argyle or Oxford, both these teams have totally figured their form out. They've played a lot better. You look at Oxford, getting out good results against good teams. I mean, drew against Barnsley, beat Portsmouth, drew with Fleetwood. They're playing decent football right now. I'm confident they could score here at home against Sunderland. I'll go both teams to score, Sunderland, Oxford United. I like Blackpool at 2.3, so plus 130 against Walsall. Walsall have lost 5 of 6. They're struggling. They have a bad run of form right now. And while Blackpool doesn't have a great home field advantage, they have some issues with their owner. They don't always get a great crowd. They actually are playing some good football. They're right up in the top 8 right now. They've been a terrific defensive team. Outside of Sunderland and Barnsley, they're the best defensive team in the Premier League. They've only given up 27 goals on the season. Blackpool are playing great. I like them to get the job done here against a struggling Walsall side. My favorite play of the League One calendar this week is the over. Both teams scoring over 2.5. You could take the over if you have that as well. Doncaster and Peterborough. These two teams scream goals. Goals on both sides. Back ends are both poor. Matt Godden, Ivan Toney have been terrific for Peterborough. John Marquise for Doncaster. He scored 16 goals on the season. There are plenty of goal scorers in this game. Doncaster, Peterborough, over 2.5. Definitely my favorite play of the week. And the only reason it's not my favorite play in all the leagues is because I have one in League Two that I like even more. But outside of that, I really like what we're seeing here out of these two groups. League One pretty strong this week. Both teams have scored, Sunderland, Oxford, Blackpool 2.3 against Walsall, and I like over 2.5. Or if you have both teams scoring over 2.5 in Doncaster, Peterborough. Obviously, for our friends in America, you may not be able to get both teams are scoring over 2.5, so I'd recommend just taking the straight over there. You're going to lay a little juice, but this one looks really good. League Two, final league. I'm going to save my favorite play of the week to the end, so stay tuned. Tranmere. People ask me about this. I had someone reach out to me on Twitter about Tranmere this week. I think it's a good spot for them. Anytime you can get Tranmere at home, I think it's worth a look. For anyone that's not aware, Tranmere's up near Liverpool. It's in Merseyside. It's a long trip for a lot of these clubs in London or near London. Stevenage is just north of London. It's outside of Luton. That's a far trip, particularly for Stevenage. So nice spot for Tranmere, but I don't love the price. I'm not really looking to lay 125 in this spot. So it's a pass, but it is a play that maybe I'll go small on. It's not going to be one of my favorites of the week, but I think they can get it done here. Obviously not a favorable spot. Stevenage kind of have done pretty well for me over the last few weeks, but I think this is a tough game for Stevenage as they go up to Tranmere. Never easy to go and play that group. I like Lincoln. Obviously, I like Lincoln every week. Lincoln at home, job done. Northampton. John Akinde has been terrific this year for Lincoln. I can get basically even money on the best team in the league, in my opinion. sign me up. I bet on Lincoln pretty much all season. I think every Premier League football league show I've been on Lincoln. I just love what Lincoln does. I mean, they're just really good. Akinde is fantastic. They should beat Northampton. Shouldn't have any trouble. I'm going to go with this one. I think it's pretty good value. It's a draw no bet option. Draw no bet is a little different from draw double chance. The draw no bet is basically getting some insurance that if your team draw, you don't lose the match. A draw no bet is basically a push bet where if the game ends in a draw, you get your money back. If the team win, you win. You're basically covering yourself and getting your money back if the draw does come in. So it's basically plus a half a goal. That's basically what you're getting here. I like Crawley Town against Oldham. I think they have the best player in the field, and Ollie Palmer. This is kind of a toss-up game, and that's kind of why I saved myself here with the draw no bet. But Crawley Town have some guys up front, like I said. A guy like Ollie Palmer that can score. I don't love Oldham on the road. This team is a team that struggle. And I like what I've seen out of Crawley Town at Bury. I thought they were pretty good in that game. Beat Swindon Town the game before. They're definitely a hard knock side. They don't have a great goal-scoring prowess, neither of these teams. And they're pretty good defensive. But I think Ollie Palmer could be the difference here. I'll go with a late goal from him. I like Crawley Town to beat Oldham. My favorite play of the week, League Two, I'm going to go with Bury Football Club, the pride of Manchester. I'm going to go with Bury at even money against Morecambe. They do have to travel to Globe Arena, but if we know anything about Bury, they're one of the best attacking sides in the league. And frankly, in the all five leagues, and all five lower leagues, and all different leagues. Bury is fantastic. I mean, they are just terrific. Whether it's Nicky Maynard or Jay O'Shea or really whoever, they score goals. They had a little bit of a scare against Crawley. I think the road will be a bit kinder to them here. Morecambe, complete shit. They've been complete shit, and they're going to be complete shit. They just don't have much on this team. Give me Bury. They're my favorite team this week. Thank you, Salty Dog. Flash, thanks for joining us. I'm not talking about Scotland League here. No problem, Crypt Keeper. Thanks for watching. Thanks to all the guys for watching. Appreciate that. Thank you for everything. Programming note here, guys. The show for basketball will be at 5 o'clock. We'll go over all the games tonight on the card. This show will be every Friday at 2 o'clock Eastern. A lot of picks for you here. How many picks do we have? Let me count them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 picks for you. And a lot of them are great plus money dogs. So, yeah, 13 plays. Taylor fade, it's up to you. This is just something I enjoy doing and have had success with it. So I'll share with you for the rest of the season, and hopefully we'll grab some profit. Short and sweet, that's that. Everyone have a great day. If you can find an American that'll go over all 4 leagues and give you info like that, I'd like to hear them. But I'm going to go and catch up with some basketball. I'll see you all at 5 o'clock. Thanks for joining us. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know what you think. And support everything I do. Make sure you subscribe. That way you don't ever miss a show. I'm the big man on campus. This has been the soccer preview for this week, February 9th and 10th. You all have a great day. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.